Min-jun's smirk vanished like smoke. His hand froze mid-signature, pen trembling against the divorce papers. The courtroom doors had burst open, and there she stood, Zara Mitchell, the woman he'd thrown away 6 months ago like she meant nothing. But it wasn't just her. In her arms, wrapped in a blue blanket, was a baby. His baby. Their baby. "What the hell?" his lawyer whispered. Zara's heels clicked against the marble floor. Every eye in that Seoul courtroom turned to watch this black woman walk toward the most dangerous man in Korea like she owned him. Her natural curls framed her face, and those brown eyes, God, those eyes he'd tried to forget, burned into him. "Sign those papers, Min-jun," she said, voice steady as steel. "But first, meet your son." Everything went silent. "My son?" The words barely left his throat. 3 months old, born premature because I cried myself into early labor the night you told me I was just a fucking distraction. She laid the baby on the table between them. "You wanted the divorce? Fine. But you're going to look at what you're walking away from." The baby's eyes opened. Dark, almond-shaped. His eyes. Min-jun's fiancée, sitting beside him in her designer hanbok, gasped. "Jun, you said there was no one else." "There wasn't," he lied, but his hand reached toward the baby before he could stop himself. The judge called for order, but Min-jun couldn't hear anything over the sound of his own heartbeat. Zara stood there, back straight, chin up, looking nothing like the woman who used to melt in his arms. This woman was armor and rage. "Ms. Mitchell," the judge began, clearly unprepared for this drama. "This is highly irregular. So is lying about being engaged while you're sleeping with someone else." Zara cut in, her accent, that beautiful mix of American English with a hint of Southern honey, filling the room. "I'm not here to stop the divorce. I'm here to establish paternity and child support. I have the DNA results." She slapped a manila envelope on the table. Min-jun's world tilted. His fiancée, Hae-won, the daughter of the Busan syndicate boss, stood up. "This is absurd. Jun, tell them it's true." The words fell from his mouth like stones. Everywhere went silent. Hae-won's face went white, then red. You bastard!" Her hand connected with his face, the slap echoing through the courtroom. "My father will kill you for this humiliation." She stormed out, her family's guards following. "Good. Let them go. Let them all go." Min-jun couldn't take his eyes off the baby. Off Zara. "We need to adjourn," the judge announced. "Mr. Park, Ms. Mitchell, you'll meet in my chambers. Now." 8 months ago, New York City. Min-jun had gone to New York to close a business deal. Legitimate business. The kind he was trying to build to clean up his family's name. The hotel bar at the plaza was half empty when he saw her. Zara Mitchell sat alone, nursing a whiskey, her natural hair pulled back, wearing a black dress that should have been illegal. She was reading, actually reading a book in a bar, and something about that made him walk over. "Is it good?" he asked. She looked up, sized him up in 3 seconds flat. "Better than most pickup lines I've heard tonight." "That wasn't a pickup line." "Then what was it?" "Curiosity." He gestured to the empty seat. "I'm curious about a woman who reads Toni Morrison in a hotel bar." She smiled then. God, that smile. It cracked something open in his chest. "You know Toni Morrison?" "I know good writing when I see it." He sat without waiting for permission. "Min-jun Park." "Zara Mitchell." She shook his hand. Her grip was firm, confident. "You're not from here." "Seoul." "You?" "Atlanta originally, Harlem now. I'm a social worker." She studied him. "You're too well dressed to be a tourist, too polite to be Wall Street. What brings you to New York?" He should have lied, should have kept his distance. Instead, he told the truth. "Business. The kind that's trying to be legitimate." Her eyebrow raised. Interesting qualifier. Interesting woman. They talked until 3 a.m. About books, about cities, about the weight of family expectations. She told him about growing up Black in the South, about choosing social work over law school because she wanted to help people, not argue for them. He told her about inheriting an empire built on blood and trying to wash it clean. "Can you ever really wash blood away?" she asked, her hand somehow in his. "I don't know," he admitted, "but I have to try." She kissed him first, soft, testing, then deeper when he responded like a man drowning. They made it to his suite. Barely. That night changed everything. He stayed in New York for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of stolen time, of pretending he was just a man and she was just a woman, and the world wasn't waiting to pull them apart. They walked through Central Park. She showed him her Harlem, her favorite soul food spot, the community center where she worked. He showed her parts of himself he'd buried under duty and violence. "You're different than I expected," she said one night, lying in his arms. "Different how?" "Softer, kinder." She traced the tattoos on his chest, dragons and tigers, symbols of his family's power. "These say one thing, your eyes say another." "Which do you believe?" "Both." She looked up at him. "That's what scares me." "Zara, I'm falling for you," she whispered. "And I know this ends. You're going back to Seoul. I'm staying here. This is just—" He kissed her quiet. Don't call this just anything." But they both knew the truth. He had obligations, an arranged marriage waiting, a family business that didn't care about love. On his last night, he almost told her everything, almost said fuck it all and stayed. Instead, he got on the plane. Present day, Judge's Chambers. "Mr. Park, the DNA results are conclusive," Judge Kim said, looking between him and Zara. "You are the father. The question now is what you intend to do about it." Minjun stared at the paper. 99.9% match. His son. His son. "I didn't know," he said, his voice rough. "I swear to God I didn't know." "Because you blocked my number," Zara said coldly. "Blocked me on everything. Had your people turned me away when I flew to Seoul, I was 3 months pregnant throwing up in the bathroom of the Korean embassy, trying to find you." His heart stopped. "You came to Seoul?" "Of course I came to Seoul." Her voice cracked, but she held it together. "I loved you, you idiot. I thought what we had was real." "It was real." He stood, moved toward her. "Zara, it was the most real thing in my life." "Then why?" Tears finally broke through her armor. "Why did you throw me away like garbage? Why did you send me that text saying I was just a pleasant distraction while you prepared for your real life?" "Because I had no choice." The words exploded out of him. "My father had a stroke. The family was falling apart. The Busan syndicate was threatening war unless I married Haiwan. I had to protect." "Protect who? Not me, not your son." She wiped her eyes angrily. "You protected yourself." "That's not fair." "Fair?" She laughed, broken. "You want to talk about fair? I gave birth alone, Minjun. No family, no partner. Just me and a baby who came 6 weeks early because I was so stressed. They put him in NICU, and I couldn't even hold him for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of watching my son through glass, pumping breast milk and praying while you were here planning your wedding." The judge cleared her throat. "Perhaps we should discuss arrangements." "I don't want his money," Zara said. "I came to Seoul because my company transferred me. I'm the new director of the Seoul International Community Center. I'll be here for 2 years. He deserves to know his son. That's it. That's all I want." Minjun's mind was racing. She was staying in Seoul? For 2 years? "What's his name?" he asked quietly. Zara's jaw tightened. Kai Mitchell. He has my last name." "Kai," Minjun repeated, the name settling into his bones. Can I hold him?" "No." The word was a bullet. "Zara, please. You lost that right 6 months ago." She stood. "Your lawyer can contact my lawyer about visitation schedules, supervised only. I won't have my son around your world." She walked out before he could respond, leaving him standing there with a DNA test and a shattered chest. 2 days later, Min-jun sat in his office at Park Industries, staring at the security footage his men had pulled. Zara's new apartment. Small, but in a good neighborhood. Safe. His men had already tripled security around the building without her knowledge. "Boss, the Busan Syndicate is asking about the courtroom incident." His second-in-command, Tae-hyun, said carefully. "Haewon's father is not pleased." "Let him be displeased." "He's threatening to cut the shipping agreements." "I don't give a fuck about shipping agreements." Min-jun slammed his hand on the desk. "I have a son, Tae. A son I didn't know about." Tae-hyun's expression softened. He'd been with Min-jun since they were kids, knew him better than anyone. "What are you going to do?" "I don't know." Min-jun rubbed his face. "She won't let me near him. She won't even let me—" His voice broke. "She was pregnant and alone, and I wasn't there." "You didn't know." "I should have known. I should have—" He stopped. "What? Fought harder? Chosen differently? Get me everything on supervised visitation laws in Korea and find out who her lawyer is." "Already done. Her lawyer is Kim Min-seo. Tough. Very tough." "Of course she is." Min-jun pulled up the security footage again. There, Zara leaving the building with Kai in a stroller. She looked tired, beautiful and tired. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Stop having your men follow me. I have a restraining order ready to file." He called immediately. She answered on the third ring. "How did you know?" he asked. "I'm a social worker, Min-jun. I know how dangerous men operate." Her voice was exhausted. "Just leave us alone, please." "I can't." "You don't have a choice. He's my son." "He's my son. You're just the DNA donor who broke my heart." She hung up. Min-jun threw his phone across the room. 1 week later, Saturday evening. Zara was grocery shopping with Kai when she saw him. Not Min-jun. That would have been expected. No, this was worse. 3 men, Korean, tattoos visible under their shirt sleeves. They'd been following her for 2 blocks. She kept walking, heart pounding, hand tight on the stroller. The grocery store was just ahead. Public place. Safe. One of them moved closer. "Ms. Mitchell," he said in English, "we need to talk." "I don't know you." "We work for the Busan Syndicate. Haewon's father wants—" Zara ran, just bolted with the stroller, adrenaline overriding everything. She heard them behind her, heard shouting, and then she collided with a wall. Except it wasn't a wall. Min-jun caught her, his arm steel bands around her and Kai. His eyes went from her face to the men, and something terrifying happened to his expression. "Touch her," he said quietly, "and I'll burn Busan to the ground." The men stopped, looked at each other. "Boss Park, you were just leaving." Min-jun's voice could have cut glass. "Tell your boss that if anyone approaches my son or his mother again, the alliance is over. Are we clear?" They left. Fast. Zara's legs gave out. Min-jun caught her, lowered them both to the sidewalk, shielding Kai between them. "Are you hurt?" His hands were on her face, in her hair, checking her like she might disappear. "Did they touch you? Did they—" "I'm fine." She pushed him away weakly. "We're fine." "You're shaking." "Because I'm scared, you idiot." She glared at him through tears. "This is your world, Min-jun. This is exactly why I didn't want—" She looked down at Kai, who was miraculously still sleeping. "This is why I can't let you in." "Then let me protect you." "I don't need your protection." "Clearly you do." He stood, pulled out his phone. "Tae, I need a security team at Ms. Mitchell's location. Now." He hung up. "You're not going home alone. You can't just watch me." He picked up her dropped groceries. "You're staying at my place tonight." "The hell I am." "Zara." He looked at her, and God, his eyes were desperate. "Please, just for tonight, let me keep you both safe. Then you can go back to hating me." She wanted to fight, wanted to tell him to go to hell, but Kai was with her, and she was terrified. "1 night?" she whispered. "That's it." Minjun's penthouse was ridiculous. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul, minimalist furniture that probably cost more than her yearly salary, art on the walls that belonged in museums. "Guest room is this way," he said, carrying her bags like it was normal to have his ex and secret baby staying over. "I had my housekeeper set up a crib. If it's not right, it's fine." The room was bigger than her entire apartment. The crib was high-end, probably custom-made, already stocked with diapers and supplies in Kai's size. Minjun stood in the doorway, watching her settle Kai down. The baby stretched, yawned, those tiny fingers curling. "Can I—" Minjun started. "Can I just look at him? I won't touch. Just look." Zara's heart cracked. She nodded. Minjun approached like Kai was made of smoke. He knelt beside the crib, and Zara watched his face transform, soften, break open. "He has your nose," Minjun whispered, "and your mouth, but those eyes—" "Are yours?" Zara sat on the bed, suddenly exhausted. "He's a perfect mix of us." "I'm sorry." Minjun's voice cracked. "God, Zara, I'm so fucking sorry. For all of it. For not being there. For not knowing. For—" He stopped, jaw working. "You shouldn't have been alone." "No, I shouldn't have." She wrapped her arms around herself. "But I was, and I survived. We survived. You shouldn't have had to just survive." He finally looked at her. "I loved you. I love you. That text I sent, it was a lie. I was trying to push you away before you got hurt, before my world swallowed you whole." "How'd that work out?" He laughed bitterly, clearly not well. Kai made a small sound in his sleep. They both froze, watching him, waiting. He settled. "He does that sometimes," Zara said softly. "Little dream noises. The doctor says it's normal." "What else does he do?" "He's starting to smile. Real smiles, not just gas. He likes music. I play him Nina Simone and he calms right down. He hates baths, but loves being wrapped in his towel after." She smiled despite herself. "He's a good baby, sleeps 4-hour stretches now." Minjun drank in every word like water in a desert. "I want to know him," he said. "I want to know everything, his favorite songs, his sleeping schedule, what makes him laugh. I want—" He stopped. "I know I don't deserve it, but I'm begging you, let me be his father." "It's not that simple." "I know. I know my world is dangerous. I know you hate me. I know I fucked up beyond repair." He moved closer. "But he's mine, Zara. He's ours. And I will burn down everyone who threatens him. I'll leave the business if that's what it takes. I'll—" "Stop." She held up a hand. "You can't just make promises you can't keep." "I'm not." His eyes were fierce. "I called off the engagement, officially, today. Haewon's father can go to hell. The business can go to hell. My family can go to hell. I choose you. I choose him. I choose—" "You're just saying what I want to hear." "Am I?" He pulled out his phone, showed her headlines in Korean. She couldn't read them, but she saw the photos. Minjun in a press conference. Haewon looking furious. What does it say? Park Air calls off syndicate marriage, acknowledges secret son. "I went public. The whole country knows now." Zara's breath caught. You didn't have to—" "Yes, I did." He put the phone away. "You were right. I was protecting myself, protecting my comfortable life. But there's nothing comfortable about living without you. There's nothing worth protecting if I lose you both." She wanted to believe him. God, she wanted to. "I need time," she whispered, "to trust you again, to believe this is real." "I'll give you time, all the time you need." He stood to leave, then paused. "But I'm not going anywhere, Zara. Not this time." He left her sitting there, heart pounding, world tilting again. 3 days later, Zara's best friend, Keisha, flew in from New York. One look at Zara's face, and she knew everything. "Girl," Keisha said, dropping her bags and pulling Zara into a hug. "You look like you've been hit by a truck." "Feel like it too." Zara sank into her best friend's arms. They'd known each other since college, been through everything together. If anyone could make sense of this mess, it was Keisha. They sat in Zara's apartment, the one Min-Jun had somehow upgraded without asking, now with security guards visible at every entrance. "So let me get this straight," Keisha said, bouncing Kai on her knee. "Korean Mafia boss, secret baby, dramatic courtroom reveal, and now he's declaring his love?" "That's the summary." "And you believe him?" "I don't know what I believe." Zara collapsed on the couch. "One minute I'm ready to forgive him. The next I remember crying myself to sleep for months. Remember thinking I wasn't enough, that I was just some American fling. But he says that wasn't true. He says he was protecting me." "By breaking your heart?" "Yeah." Zara laughed bitterly. "Apparently that was the plan." Keisha was quiet for a moment, studying Kai. "He's beautiful, Z, and he deserves to know his father." "I know. But you deserve to protect your heart, too." Keisha looked at her. "What does your gut say?" "My gut says he's telling the truth, that he really did love me, that he's really trying to change." Zara rubbed her face. "But my brain says I'm an idiot for even considering—" The doorbell rang. Both women froze. "You expecting someone?" Keisha asked. "No." Zara checked the security monitor. Min-Jun stood there, holding a diaper bag. She opened the door. "What are you doing here?" "I brought supplies." He held up the bag. "And I wanted to ask if I could take you both to dinner, somewhere quiet, just to talk." "She has company," Keisha called from inside, "and opinions." Min-Jun looked past Zara, saw Keisha holding Kai. Something painful crossed his face. "I should have called first," he said. "I'm sorry, It's fine." Zara stepped back. "Come in, meet my best friend. She's already decided you're trash, so good luck." Min-Jun entered, and Keisha looked him up and down like a hawk assessing prey. "So you're the sperm donor," Keisha said. "Keisha," Zara hissed. "What? That's what he was. Now he's trying to upgrade to father. I'm just making sure he knows the difference." Min-Jun took it. Didn't get defensive. Just nodded. "You're right to be protective. She's lucky to have you." "Damn right she is." Keisha stood, still holding Kai. "You broke her. Like, really broke her. She called me at 3 a.m., crying so hard I thought someone died. That was you. Your choices." "I know. So what's different now?" "Now I'm not a coward." He looked at Zara. "Now I know what I lost, and I'm willing to fight for it." Keisha studied him. "You really love her?" "Yes. And you're really done with your mob boss fiancé?" "I was never with her. Not really. It was an arrangement." "Rich people problems," Keisha muttered. Then, to Zara's shock, she handed Kai to Min-Jun. "Here, hold your son." Min-Jun froze, looked at Zara for permission. She nodded, throat tight. He took Kai like he was made of glass. The baby woke, blinked up at him, and Zara watched something fundamental shift in Min-Jun's face. His eyes went glassy. "Hi," he whispered to Kai. "Hi, little one. I'm your dad." Kai grabbed his finger, held on. Min-Jun broke, just tears streaming down his face, this dangerous man absolutely undone by a 3-month-old baby. "I've got you," he whispered. "I've got you now. I'm never leaving, never, I promise." Zara had to look away. Her own eyes were burning. Keisha bumped her shoulder. "Girl, if you don't give that man a chance, I will." "You're engaged, Keisha." "I know, but damn, that's some romance novel shit right there." Despite everything, Zara laughed. They did go to dinner. The 4 of them, Zara, Min-Jun, Keisha, and Kai. Min-Jun chose a private restaurant, quiet and safe, where they could talk. "So what's it like?" Keisha asked Min-Jun. "The whole Korean Mafia thing." "Keisha," Zara kicked her under the table. "What? I'm curious. We don't have many mob bosses in Harlem." Min-Jun smiled slightly. It's not like the movies. It's business. Complicated, often dangerous business. But I'm trying to legitimize our operations. My father built an empire on fear. I want to build one on respect." "Noble," Keisha said, "but respect doesn't stop bullets." "No, it doesn't." He looked at Zara. "Which is why I'm hiring the best security in Asia for all of you." "I don't need," Zara started. "Yes, you do. After what happened with the Busan syndicate, I'm not taking chances." "What happened?" Keisha demanded. Zara filled her in, watched Keisha's face go from concerned to furious. "They followed you, with my nephew." Keisha stood up. "Where are these Busan people? I'll handle them myself." "Keisha, sit down." "I'm serious. Nobody threatens my family." Minjun was watching Keisha with something like admiration. "I like her." "Everyone does," Zara said, "until she's yelling at them." "I don't yell, I express myself with emphasis." They laughed. For the first time in months, Zara felt something like normal, like maybe, possibly, this could work. Later, after Keisha had excused herself to call her fiancé, Marcus, Minjun turned to Zara. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." "When you were pregnant, what was the hardest part?" The question surprised her. She expected him to ask about them, about their relationship, not this. "The loneliness," she admitted. "Every milestone, every doctor's appointment, every moment I felt him kick. I was alone. I wanted to share it with you so badly it hurt." His hand found hers on the table. "Tell me now. Tell me everything I missed." So she did. Told him about the first ultrasound, about finding out the gender, about the moment she went into early labor and was terrified she'd lose him, about the NICU, about pumping milk and leaving it for the nurses to give Kai because she couldn't hold him yet. Minjun listened to every word, hand gripping hers like a lifeline, tears running freely. "I'm sorry," he kept saying. "I'm so sorry." "I know," she whispered. "I know you are." Keisha came back, saw them holding hands, and smiled. "Well, well." "Don't start," Zara warned. "I'm not starting anything. I'm just saying it's nice to see you not looking dead inside." "Jesus, Keisha." "I speak truth." She sat down. "Now, Minjun, tell me about this security situation. Because Marcus and I are planning to visit regularly, and I need to know we're not going to get shot." Minjun launched into an explanation of his security protocols. Keisha asked sharp questions, and somehow, over Korean BBQ and soju, something shifted. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But maybe the beginning of trust. 2 weeks later, things had developed a rhythm. Minjun came by every evening to see Kai. Zara let him help with bath time, let him hold the baby while she showered, let him exist in their space. It was terrifying how easily he fit. Keisha had gone back to New York but called daily. "How's baby daddy?" became her greeting. "Stop calling him that," Zara said. "Why? That's what he is." "It's weird. What's weird is you two playing house but not talking about your feelings." "We're talking about the baby, not about you, not about what happens next." Keisha was right, of course. They'd carefully avoided talking about anything deeper than Kai's feeding schedule, until the night everything changed. Zara was getting ready for bed when the dizziness hit, just a wave of vertigo that sent her gripping the bathroom counter, then another, then her vision blurred. She tried to call out, but her voice wouldn't work. The last thing she heard was Kai crying and footsteps running. She woke up in a hospital. Minjun was there, holding Kai, pacing like a caged animal. When he saw her eyes open, relief crashed over his features. "Thank God," he breathed. "Thank God you're awake." "What happened?" Her voice was scratchy. "You collapsed. I found you on the bathroom floor. You weren't responding." His voice shook. I thought. A doctor entered. "Ms. Mitchell, you're severely anemic and dehydrated. When did you last eat a full meal?" Zara tried to remember. I don't know. 2 days ago?" 2 days? Minjun stared at her. "Zara, what the hell?" I've been busy, working full-time, taking care of Kai alone. She stopped. Is Kai okay? Kai's fine. I've been feeding him the bottles you keep in the fridge. He's perfect. Minjun handed the baby to her. You're the one who's not fine. The doctor says you've been running yourself into the ground. I have to. I'm a single mother. You're not single. The words exploded out of him. Stop acting like you're alone. I'm here. I've been here every day. Why won't you let me help? Because I'm scared, she shouted back, then immediately regretted it when Kai startled. She soothed him, voice dropping. I'm scared, okay? I'm scared to need you, to depend on you, because what happens when you leave again? I'm not leaving. You don't know that. Yes, I do. He ran his hands through his hair. God, Zara, what do I have to do? How do I prove I'm not going anywhere? I don't know. Then I'll wait. I'll wait until you believe me. But stop killing yourself in the meantime, please. He sat on the edge of the hospital bed. Move in with me. What? Move in with me, you and Kai. I have space. I have staff who can help. You can focus on work and healing and not collapsing from exhaustion. That's not... If it's about us, I'll sleep in a different wing. You'll never have to see me, but please, let me take care of you both. That's all I'm asking. The doctor cleared her throat. For what it's worth, Ms. Mitchell, you need help. New mothers often don't realize how much they're sacrificing until their body gives out. You're lucky this wasn't more serious. Zara looked down at Kai, at this perfect little human she'd been trying so hard to protect. Maybe Keisha was right. Maybe she needed to let someone in. Okay, she whispered. Minjun's head snapped up. Okay? 1 month trial. If it's not working, it'll work. He took her hand. I promise it'll work. 1 week later, living with Minjun was surreal. The penthouse that had seemed cold before was now full of baby supplies, her books, her music. Minjun had given her the entire east wing, bedroom, bathroom, small kitchenette, sitting area, her own private space. But increasingly, she found herself in his space. Tonight, she couldn't sleep. Kai was down for his longest stretch, and the silence was deafening. She wandered to the living room, found Minjun on the balcony, whiskey in hand. Can't sleep either, she asked. Too much on my mind. He glanced at her. You okay? Yeah, just restless. She joined him at the railing, Seoul spread out below them, glittering. It's beautiful. It is. But he was looking at her, not the city. Minjun, I love you. He said it simply, plainly. I know you don't want to hear it. I know I don't deserve to say it, but I need you to know. Every day, I love you more. Watching you with Kai, watching you rebuild your strength, watching you exist in my space like you were always meant to be here. It kills me that I let you go once. You were trying to protect me. I was a coward. He set down his glass. My father wanted the marriage, the syndicate wanted the alliance, and I told myself I was being noble, letting you go. But really, I was just scared. Scared of what choosing you would mean, scared of disappointing everyone. And now? Now I'm more scared of losing you. He turned to face her fully. I know we're not there yet. I know you still don't trust me, but I'm asking you to try. Give me a chance to prove I'm the man you thought I was in New York, because he's real, Zara. He's who I am when I'm with you. She wanted to fight it, wanted to stay protected. Instead, she kissed him. It was soft at first, tentative, then deeper, desperate. Months of pain and longing and love all crashed together. Minjun's hands cupped her face like she was precious, like she might break, and God, she'd missed this. Missed him. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, he pressed his forehead to hers. Tell me this is real, he whispered. Tell me I'm not dreaming. It's real. She laughed, crying. I still don't completely trust you. I'm still scared, but I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of pretending I don't love you. Say it again. I love you, Minjun Park, even though you're an idiot. He kissed her again and again. They made it to the couch, almost made it further before Kai's cry echoed through the penthouse. They froze, looked at each other, laughed. "Welcome to parenthood," Zara said. "Best job I'll ever have." Minjun stood, pulled her up. "Let's go get our son." Our son. The words settled into her heart. 2 months later. Keisha's second visit to Seoul coincided with her fiancé Marcus finally proposing a wedding date. They decided to do a destination wedding, Seoul specifically. "Because I want to make sure baby daddy doesn't backslide," Keisha explained, "and Korea's gorgeous. Win-win." They were dress shopping, all 4 of them. Keisha, Zara, Marcus, and Minjun, with Kai sleeping peacefully in his designer stroller. "This is so weird," Keisha said, trying on her 5th gown. "You and Marcus are getting along like you're best friends." It was true. Marcus, a lawyer from Brooklyn, and Minjun had bonded over something. Zara suspected whiskey and late-night conversations about difficult women, as they lovingly called them. "Your girl is something else," Marcus told Minjun while the women tried on dresses. "Put up with Keisha's crazy for 3 years. That's commitment." "Zara's stronger," Minjun said, watching her through the boutique window. "She raised Kai alone, built a life in a foreign country, forgave me when she shouldn't have." "You really love her, more than anything. Then make it official." Marcus clapped his shoulder. "Marry her." Minjun had been thinking the same thing. 1 week later, Saturday evening, Minjun had planned everything carefully. Keisha and Marcus were in on it. So was Tae-hyun. Even Kai had a role, though he wouldn't remember it. They were at a private beach house outside Seoul. Minjun had told Zara it was just a weekend getaway, a chance to relax before Keisha and Marcus's wedding took over their lives. Dinner was perfect. Catered by her favorite restaurant, wine that cost more than her first car, sunset painting the sky. Kai was with them in his carrier, cooing at the waves. "This is nice," Zara said, leaning back in her chair. "Peaceful." "Too peaceful?" Minjun asked. "No such thing." She smiled at him. "Thank you for all of this, for the last few months, for being patient while I figured out how to trust again. I'd wait forever for you. Hopefully you won't have to." She reached across the table, took his hand. "I want to make this official. Us. I want to stop pretending we're just co-parenting. I want... Marry me." She stopped. "What?" Minjun stood, came around the table and knelt, pulled out a ring box. Inside was a ring that made her gasp. A deep blue sapphire surrounded by diamonds, the color of the sky the night they met. "Marry me," he repeated. "I know it's fast. I know we've been through hell. But I also know I want to wake up with you every day. I want to raise Kai together. I want to give you more babies if you want them. I want to grow old arguing about whose turn it is to change diapers." He smiled through tears. "Marry me, Zara Mitchell. Make me the luckiest man alive." She was crying, full-on sobbing. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. You want to marry me? The woman who showed up at your divorce hearing with a baby?" "Best day of my life, that hearing." He laughed. "You walking in like an avenging angel. I've never been so terrified and turned on." "Oh my God, you're ridiculous." "Is that a yes?" "Yes!" She pulled him up, kissed him hard. "Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes." He slipped the ring on her finger. Perfect fit. Of course. Kai chose that moment to make a sound, something between a coo and a laugh. They both looked down at their son. "He approves," Minjun said. "He better. This was probably his idea." From behind them, Keisha and Marcus emerged from the house, champagne in hand. "Finally!" Keisha yelled. "I thought you'd never ask." "You knew?" Zara demanded. "Of course I knew. He asked for my blessing 2 weeks ago." Keisha pulled her into a hug. "Welcome to the engaged club, babe." Marcus shook Minjun's hand. "Congrats, man. You did good." They popped champagne, sparkling cider for Zara since she was breastfeeding, and toasted to new beginnings. 6 months later, spring. Keisha and Marcus's wedding was beautiful, a perfect fusion of Korean and American traditions. Zara stood as maid of honor, Kai as the world's cutest ring bearer. Minjun carried him down the aisle. During the reception, Minjun pulled Zara onto the dance floor. "Your turn next," Keisha called. "I want to be pregnant at your wedding." "Working on it," Marcus laughed. Zara blushed. She and Minjun had been planning their own wedding, something small, intimate, just family and close friends. "Are you happy?" Minjun asked, holding her close. "Ridiculously happy." She looked up at him. "Sometimes I can't believe this is real, that we made it here." "We almost didn't, but we did." She kissed him softly. "We survived the worst. Everything else is easy. I love you." "I love you too." Kai, dancing with Keisha nearby, reached for his parents. They took him, the three of them swaying together. "Perfect family," Taehyun said, watching from the bar. He'd brought a date, a sweet museum curator he'd met through Minjun's legitimate business ventures. Things were changing, getting better. As the night wore on, speeches were made. Marcus told embarrassing stories about Keisha. Keisha told worse stories about Zara. Minjun stood and raised his glass. "To second chances," he said, "to forgiveness, to the woman who walked into my life and changed everything." He looked at Zara. "And to the son who brought us back together, to family," everyone echoed. Later, after Kai was asleep in his hotel room with a trusted nanny, after Keisha and Marcus had left for their honeymoon, Zara and Minjun sat on their balcony. "Thank you," she said quietly. "For what?" "For fighting for us. For not giving up. For being the man I needed you to be. Thank you for letting me try." He pulled her into his lap. "For giving me a second chance I didn't deserve. Everyone deserves a second chance. Even Korean Mafia bosses, especially Korean Mafia bosses." She smiled. "Besides, you're not that anymore. You're just Minjun, Kai's dad, my fiancé, the man who makes me breakfast and does midnight diaper changes and loves me even when I'm a mess." "You're never a mess. I'm always a mess." "My favorite mess, then." They kissed under the stars, the Seoul skyline glittering around them, and Zara thought about that night in New York. How lost she'd been. How lost they'd both been. Sometimes love wasn't enough the first time. Sometimes it took pain and growth and coming back together stronger. Sometimes the story didn't end at the divorce hearing. Sometimes it was just beginning. 2 years later. Zara Park, she'd taken his name to his eternal delight, stood in the nursery rocking her daughter, Amara, while Kai played with blocks on the floor. Minjun appeared in the doorway, looking exhausted but happy. Park Industries was fully legitimate now. No more syndicate ties. No more danger. Just business. Just family. "How are my loves?" he asked. "Perfect," Zara said. "Your daughter has your lungs. She's been screaming for an hour." "That's my girl." He took Amara, who immediately calmed. "See? Daddy's got you." Kai toddled over. "Daddy, play." "In a minute, buddy. Let's get your sister to sleep first." Keisha and Marcus video called from New York, their own baby, a daughter named Zara, which made her cry, visible in the background. "Miss you guys," Keisha said. "Miss you too, but we'll be there next month. Can't wait. Also, Mom wants to know when you're having number 3. "Tell your mom we're maxed out at 2. Zara laughed. They talked for an hour, caught up, made plans. When they finally hung up, Minjun put both kids to bed and pulled Zara to their bedroom. "Alone at last," he murmured, "for approximately 3 hours until one of them wakes up. I'll take it." He kissed her slow and deep. "Have I told you lately that you're incredible?" "Not since this morning." Slacking. He kissed her neck. "You're incredible. Amazing. The best thing that ever happened to me. Even better than threatening to burn down Busan? Way better than that." She laughed, pulled him down to the bed. "I love you, Minjun Park." I love you, Zara Park. He kissed her again. Thank you. For what? For walking into that courtroom, for not giving up, for loving me even when I was an idiot. Still an idiot sometimes. But your idiot. My idiot, she agreed. Outside, Soul hummed with life. Inside, they created their own world, messy and chaotic and absolutely perfect. Sometimes the best love stories started with a divorce hearing. Sometimes they started with a baby. Sometimes they started with a black woman walking into a Korean courtroom and changing everything. And sometimes, if you were lucky, they ended with a family, a real family, forever. To new beginnings and second chances, to love that survives the storm, to families built from broken pieces, to happily ever afters that were worth the fight.